I want to meet you. I want to meet the you inside of you. The you inside of you that will not be denied. The overlooked you, the disrespected you. The you inside of you. The overcomer you.
Studio WGVE, Gary's only FM station. Got our buddy, good friend of mine, Pastor Richard Wilford.
Yes, sir. Oh, man.
How you feeling, man?
Man, good. Glad to be alive.
You still hitting the gym, Rich?
Yes, sir.
You seem like you get big every time I see you, man.
No, trying to chase the fat boy away, man.
So what's new, man? What's been going on since the last time?
Man, I am super excited. The books are selling well, man. We have so much great support. Hometown and abroad, a lot of support, invitations to come and speak, book signing still. We're going to, this month we go to California, tentatively Vegas. Okay. Next month, have a couple stops in Atlanta.
Okay.
So real excited about that. Book still selling, still working on writing at the same time. So it's all new to me, so it's just beautiful, man, to meet people and talk.
Came to the book signing at St. Timothy.
Yeah,
St. Timothy. And it was great, man. Great event.
Thank you.
Laid out really good, man. Big ups to the host, Crystal Lynn.
Yeah.
JD.
My man did it.
Crazy self.
Super job.
And
man.
to the band.
Two-man band. They did it.
Band, man.
Will Miller, George Hall.
Yeah, it was a great event, man. So
wonderful, man.
I'm grateful for you, man. You doing a lot. And so as an author, pastor, father, entrepreneur, and now you are a singer.
Crazy. Artist. Right? Can you believe it?
Artist,
Can you believe it? Artist.
But here's the thing, man. I love it because I really believe that you should go after and do whatever it is in your heart.
Yes, sir. I think that's it.
No reservations, man. So how has it been going after this new avenue of talents and gifting? Any opposition from like haters? Asking what you're doing now, you're doing too much.
Yeah, all of that.
Really?
It's a part of it.
How you respond?
Shake it off, keep going. But I have my personal days, because you say I didn't ask for it, and then you don't get all of the support that you think you should get. Mm-hmm. But I think it's all a part. I think it has everything to do with all of it. Keeps you focused, that's for sure. But man, excited about it. Just excited about what God can do if you make yourself available to Him. Right. I think being in the right circles with the right people, man, that inspire and promote and motivate, give you room to spread your wings. And, and I've kind of founded a brand new circle of people that kind of inspire that whole thing, man.
That's cool. That's cool.
I'm really excited about that, man.
Ferris Evans Jr., he produced the joint, right?
Yes. Co-wrote, produced on the one song, Be Awesome, Davey Moore.
Yeah, Davey,
my man Davey, he's singing in the back, and
Davey still look like he's 14.
He does, man, and he's doing it, man. And big ups to Ferris Evans Jr. He started a new label, and so I'm the first artist on the label. The label is called Media Art. Man, it's called how come I can't remember? I get back to it nevertheless. But so excited about that, man, to be sharing even in the audio art.
That's cool.
Audio art, man. So it's audioart.media is where the song is.
Okay. So now you are not the traditional preacher, the traditional reverend pastor, because you're out there, man, and which is cool. I love it. Right? I salute that. How do you respond to people that say, a pastor's place is within the four walls?
I don't hear it, man. See, here's the thing with me. Number one, I was not born and raised in church. I got saved when I was 18 in the military. So I wasn't brought up in church. So a lot of the traditional ways and all of that most people get when they're coming up, I didn't get any of that. So when I met Jesus, I was in the military, in a gospel service. So I was never raised in that. As a matter of fact, I tell people all the time when the conversation comes up, I was pastoring and didn't know what the little box in the front of the church was. I was like, what is that little box thing? Didn't know what that was about.
That's funny.
And they didn't know what the little holes in the back of the pews were.
Yeah.
I didn't know what those things were. I used to stick my fingers in them. That was that.
I think
Really didn't know.
everybody
So many things I didn't know, and I think kind of works to my advantage, or has worked to my advantage, or have not boxed me in.
Yeah.
So I don't have those voices saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I use as the litmus test, the rule to guide me is God's word, and not, tradition of what people have to say.
Yeah. Not letting people box you in. I love it. Yeah. One of the things I hear constantly is that with the media, the radio, the writing, I get the side eyes and the raised eyebrows. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I always commend when I see people who are living their life, living for their purpose, and are very unorthodox, kind of not going against the grain, but not sticking with the grain that everybody else is
Absolutely.
going,
Right.
Not letting people put you in the box, man. So what's the next song that's going to come from you?
Actually, we should be done with the CD around September, October, November. So we already have a gang of songs already set. We have a bunch of songs that we're still writing and tracking. So I'm excited about those as well. So we have enough to do a CD now if we wanted to do it today, but we're working on developing those and so many others. So we have a plethora of songs to choose from.
I love the song.
Do you?
Yeah, it's in rotation.
Right.
It's I played it last night. I was coming from Chicago.
Okay. What you think about it?
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Honestly, yeah. If I didn't, I just wouldn't comment.
I got
because
you.
I need good vibing music. I heard the song before, so I needed something good to just ride to. It's like 8 o'clock on the highway. So let me put on Richard.
Yeah.
And it's just that. That's cool. Funny stories. I started at McDonald's to get a coffee, and I was just popping. The lady, she took my order. She was like, "What are you listening to?"
All right.
Oh, yeah, be awesome. I literally said, "Be awesome," and I pulled off.
Right.
And it's good music, man. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
It was our aim and our goal. I wanted. It was so funny because I called Ferris one day. I said, "Hey, listen, I have an idea," and out of nowhere, and me and him had a relationship between me and Angelo, and so we kind of worked together, but not as close as we have now. So I just called him out of the blue and said, "I have an idea that really bothered me." So I followed the idea and I called him, and he said, "Come to the studio at 6 o'clock tonight." I came to the studio at 6. By 9 or 10 o'clock, we had a song done. Not this song, but we had a song.
Okay.
Our first song we had done, settled. So I knew that it was the Lord that really did it. So I just, I think the message in that, and I say all the time, I didn't jump in it to make money. I wanted to do it because I think the payment for me was that I heard the voice, I had a thought, and I went with it.
Yeah.
That's the payment for me. If it never goes anywhere, you know what I mean? That you had a thought that you can think. I mean, I know it's a simple thought, but I know it's a simple idea. But just to say, when you say to yourself, "I can think," you know what I mean? Or I believe I'm led to do something, and I step out on faith and do it. That's the payment for me, man.
Yeah, yes.
Now, what it does after that, hey, wherever it goes,
That's
man.
just gravy on the cake.
Yeah, and then when you begin to hear feedback, it becomes confirmation for you that what you thought was right. You know that great feeling you say, "I was right."
Yeah.
Oh man, that fuels the fire, bro. And it just makes you want to dig deeper.
Well, you said something good, man. It should never be about the money. Like creatives, those who are creating art, whether it be music, writing a book, producing anything, if it's about the money, you've missed the point.
Right.
It's God, the creator,
Yes, sir.
has given you a vision of something to create.
Yes, sir.
And to express that, I agree. It's no greater feeling. It's the rush, the high. It's
Yes.
like, I mean, you're working on it. 'Cause did you have this feeling when you were putting the music together, working on the songs?
Every day, man. I anticipate. I tell Ferris, I anticipate him calling me. If it's 11 at night, whenever he calls, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go.
Because I'm just so excited to see what I call the magic that happens, man. When you get in the company and relationship with gifted people, the magic that can happen in that moment and place, man, it's just mind blowing, man.
So people make a difference as it relates to those in your circle of influence.
Very much so.
All right.
Major part. You could have the thought, you could have the idea, but if the people in your circle are envious and jealous of you, They don't. My pastor used to say, "I can help you because I'm not intimidated by you." There's nothing that you could produce or do that will intimidate or hinder what I'm doing, so I can freely help you. You have to be in the company of people like that. If not, you're in the company of competitors. And so you may have a great idea, but I'm not going to tell you. And you may have a great idea, but as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to reduplicate it in some other form. You need somebody that's going to push, celebrate it, help you build it, man, and go for it, man.
That's good, man.
That's amazing.
So let me tell the story to the listening audience. I have the song, put it on the CD and everything. I just left it at home on my desk. Y'all forgive me, okay? But the song will be in heavy rotation on the show Mondays and Thursdays from here on. But we're gonna try something. We're gonna try to play it today though for you all. But Richard, you want to talk about something, especially though, with our young people, correct?
Yeah. I think it's for adults and young people. I'm working on as well. On my list of things to do is
the long list.
A discovery I made within my own self, and so I think the best thing to do is when we make discoveries is to share them, because all of us think that everybody thinks the same thing we think, and it's not so. You start finding out that what you think is authentic. What you do is authentic. Who dares is totally authentic from everybody else. Everybody has a chance to do it, but everybody don't think about doing it. So what happened to me was I started. I never forget. I went to the movies about 5 times. I either fell asleep on the movie or walked out, and I couldn't figure out what that was about. And then music began to bore me. Everything around me became boring to me. And I couldn't figure out what that was until it came to me. And I said to myself, if I could go watch a movie, I could either write, produce, or play in a movie. If I could listen to a song, then if I have the talents and the abilities to, I can create my own music. If I could read a book, I can write a book. If I can buy one, I can sell one. So it's what it started making me do was turn inwardly. I call it mining inwardly. It's what if I write it, it'll be called mining inwardly. With the coal, you remember the coal miner with the hat and the light on the forehead? These are all sooty. When they mine for diamonds, these things are not found on the ground. Man, they have to go deep within to find the most valuable, diamonds. And so it's mining within is about turning inwardly. And what I found out because I've been divorced about 6 years. So what I found out was this 6 years alone gave me the opportunity to to go inwardly and find out what is it within me, in my head and in my heart, that God has placed within me to make a contribution to this society and to this universe. What's within me? We celebrate everybody, bro. We celebrate. I mean, I've bought everybody's stuff. I've celebrated. All of us should celebrate and support and encourage other people in their growth and advancement. But you should not spend your entire life doing that. At some point, you got to say,
that's good.
What about me? What part do I play in this? And what's in me? That's the thing. Mining inwardly means what's in me. At one point, I was going to call it, hey, screw relationships. And what I meant by that was because so many people I know, they jump into these relationships. And relationships can be consuming financially, emotionally, spiritually, in all of these ways. And then when you fall out of a relationship, you look back and say, I wasted a whole year on that. And yet you never found out what is it about. See, some of this unhappiness within relationships is because you have not found you yet. I actually parted ways with a young lady that I was dating because there was something in me that was saying, I need to go after that. Whatever that thought is, whatever that...
And you thought that was dangerous.
Yeah. Whatever that calling was, you have to go after it. But I knew there was something in the back. See, and these are words that all of us know, however we say them. There was a voice, there was a yearning, something bothered me, something felt like it was pulling or pushing me. All of us know that, but it's the same thing. It's something calling. And so I knew there was a real sacrifice that I was making. To walk away from this would be a real sacrifice, but it was to go after what I felt the Lord was calling me to do. And what that was to continue writing. And so, and I do know if I would have never walked away from that, I would have never finished the books, never completed and published both the books, started a publishing company. I would have never run into the music the opportunity to do music. So, but all of it comes just like writing. Believe it or not, my writing, I just said, let me write. And I knew like most things it kind of fizzle out. But I write. I've been writing for 4 years now. So you think it's gonna run out at some point, but it keeps on going.
Keeps going.
So you got what I mean? But that only happens. My point is going inwardly to find out who you are, what do you like to do, what are you gifted at, what do you have some talent in, what do you love to do, what drives you, what wakes you up in the morning. You can't find that out if you're investing all your time in building and loving on and not to say you can't love anybody else, but at some point, some time has to be taken. I used to say, better me is the better we.
Better me is a better we. That's good. That's quotable. You all tweet that out there. Okay, tag him in it.
Sure.
But you mentioned something good. Can't spend your whole life building up, somebody else's team, or you can't stay on the sidelines. Like eventually, you got to be the sixth man. Like eventually, you got to get in the game and play. You got to get out there and do it, right?
Well, you should. You should at least try, because there's so many people that spend their entire life building another man's business, and while you're working, he's in the Bahamas, and that's cool. But at some point, you have to see your value. That I contribute this part to this, to making this a success, to making somebody else a success. So it's a part about saying, what is it that I can offer, and can I do this on my own? Yeah, there's a fear factor there because you have to walk away from this to go after it. But I think the benefits, like most entrepreneurs know, there's a sweet joy and feeling of satisfaction in knowing that you're doing your own thing. So mining within, the piece I want to connect it to that in completing that is I want to teach mining within for our children, because just like my daughter, because I've said this for years. What I do pays my bills. What I do and what I love to do. The gifts and talents that I have pays my bills. I know no sweeter joy than that, than doing what you love to do and it take care of you and your family. So for people who have found their gift, who have found their quote unquote passion, and it pays their bills, we are responsible to turn around and to empower our younger people. You ought not have children in your household. Now, if you found your gift, that you're free. I've heard it said, I don't know who said it, but the statement is free people, free people. If you are free, it's your responsibility to turn around. Why would I allow my children to be forced to work for somebody else for the rest of their life? When I'm free, why would I not turn around and say, let me investigate and see what gifts and talents that this guy has? The same thing with Angelo. Angelo could play drums really well, and he could do so many other things. But we found out, through investigation, that he had a talent to do this, and he went on to do that. And he was employed as a drummer, so he got paid to do what he loved to do. Same thing with Sky. Sky likes to draw. Sky likes to take pictures. And so those very things we're going to do, we're working on presently now at not so much monetizing, but I think monetizing shows them that what you do, that consumers will pay for. And it gives you, that whole spiel, right? And then the satisfaction you get, when you get, when I got a residual check, when I got a royalty check for my first book, man, I was, you know what I mean? You can't beat that, man.
You can't beat that.
And that's forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those streams of income are forever, man. So trying to invest that, trying to put that into children, while they're young, man, that everybody has something.
Everybody.
It's not for a few of us. Everybody has something.
To go to work for 9 to 5 and you get that check every 2 weeks, and it pays the bills. But to write a book, to put a song out, something that you had an idea, and you materialize it, and you get the money isn't a factor, but the money shows you that somebody deems this valuable. Somebody said, "Hey, you know what? I liked your idea."
Yeah,
that is so affirming, right?
It is. Even if you just like playing your music yourself, you wonder why guys like Prince have vaults full of songs. They may never make it to mainstream. Maybe just songs that he loves to hear. That within you there is somebody. At some point, man, we got to learn how to love ourselves, appreciate what God has made. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. God places something within us. It's in us to mine for it, man. You got to dig for it and find out what it is, and then you can't keep it to yourself. Share it.
And you can't try to imitate somebody else's. right? And mining is all about that self-identification, like you said.
Yeah. I think we all start off, mimicking and all of these things, but you got to spend some real time in looking inwardly. I promise you won't find anybody inwardly but you.
Do you think most
Nobody but
people
you.
are afraid of what they might find?
Yeah. Yeah. I think more than that, people are afraid, or we're afraid of if people will receive it. When I first started blogging, the purpose of me blogging was to see if people would get, or if it had some value in what I was blogging. And then there came a point where I no longer needed that. I no longer needed that validation. And then I just began writing because I loved to write. And then those who
That's good.
who were readers and enjoyed it responded, which encourages you in turn. Yeah.
That's
But it's in you, man. And the freedom that you have, I'm well beyond the point where material things are it for me. I've learned to live on high levels and I learned to live on low levels. But what really gives you the joy and happiness is knowing that what you do, that there is some value in you, that what you do makes a contribution into your world and into others' world. And man, to be able to have a song on iTunes, and my song sits in between. People take pictures. People take pictures of the playlist, and my song sits in between India Irie and Rick Ross or something like. It's there, and it ain't gonna ever go nowhere.
It's never going. No one can ever take that from you.
That's amazing to see what started as a thought for you end up on, which is my favorite bookstore, Barnes and Noble, to see it listed there. Me and Sky were in Illinois. We went on the computer and looked. My name came up there. My contribution, in the world of literacy, in books and writings, it's there, man, and it'll never leave.
Cannot be erased.
Man, that is, I can't even explain that. If I don't sell one book, I didn't get into it.
That's right.
But you know what I mean?
You expressed that creativity that was or what that unction, whatever God put in you, you were able to express that.
Go, man, go after. You don't have forever to live. I know we keep saying these things, but I keep trying to hammer them home. You don't have forever to live. You only have one life to live. This is it. If you have a thought, go for it. What is the worst that can happen, man? What's the worst that can happen? And believe it or not, there's a lot of failed ideas. But at least you try. At least you put it out there, man. You never know. At some point, something's going to hit. Something's going to work. Something's going to happen.
After a while, get it. Something's going to work. Like it's that, and you will be so upset with yourself because you gave it too quick. You didn't keep going.
Very much.
Stop mining before you struck gold, before you hit the oil.
It's in there, man.
It's in there.
I don't care who it is. Everybody has something inwardly. If you mine inwardly, there is something in you. Even biblically, you see. With Moses, he says, what is that in your hand? All of us have something within our hands, in our heads, and in our hearts that could very well, if developed correctly, could be the stream of income that could take care of not only you and or your family. You got Jocelyn coming on, okay? She had a desire. Something in her head and her heart says, hey, go after this thing in this food industry. And as a result of it, you look at years later, she has a restaurant on Broadway.
You never know unless you try.
I'm just saying, man. Go for. You have nothing to lose. We're so worried about what people think, man, and what
perceptions of people.
Man, you just have to go for it, man, and get in the company of people who encourage and build that, man, not kill it.
Because you're darned if your mama said it a different way, but
you are.
I'm gonna say you're darned if you do.
You are.
You're darned if you don't.
You are.
So if you don't do it, people are gonna say something.
Right.
If you do it.
Right.
People are still going to have something to say. So you're going to live in between that purgatory place of people's thoughts.
But you're going to live worse laying there in the bed, knowing that you did not at least try. That's the extra brick on it. Mm-hmm. the weight you carry, the extra big brick is knowing that you sat there and you had an idea, but you wouldn't go after it because you were too afraid of what people say, man.
So what are you going to try next? Should we look for the Rick Ross Be Awesome remix?
Yeah, no, man, that's automatic. That's automatic. That's automatic. Those are already in the works, man. Those in the works. I love compilation. You guys are gonna be so blown away, man. We have my original idea was to do a compilation with pastors.
Okay.
Because I just have a real heart to seek to help paint pastors in a better view than we have been over the years. And so my way of doing that was do a compilation on music. We have a major compilation, man, and on a song that's going to be so mind-blowing. It's edgy, so it may not fall in. I don't even know where it's going to fall. Farrah says you don't do world music. You don't do worldly music. You do world music to reach the world. So I think I have a difficulty in trying to label where it goes. At least Be Awesome is hallelujah. At least Be Awesome fell under gospel Christianity.
Well, yeah, and when you go to Be Awesome Radio, it puts you like with modern music and Jonathan.
Does it? See what I mean? So those people we want to reach, man. We got to get outside the church. We got to go somewhere other than the church, man.
Amen.
People, my concept was, and we stick to the concept, and Ferris helps me with that. I wanted to do great music, and I wanted to do great message. Great music, great message. The message on Be Awesome is one that we're fearfully and wonderfully made. God made us, and we ought to be awesome. We would talk, be, know, and do. Be known to be this. Know this, be this, and you'll end up doing this. You know what I mean? If you know that you're awesome and God has made you awesome, then you carry yourself and you begin to do awesome things.
Big ups to Richard Wilford.
Thank you, man.
Out good quality music.
It's the goal,
Be
bro.
awesome, and we're gonna make sure we have that in rotation. So Thursday will be played.
Thank you, man.
Again on the show, and again not just because it's Rich Wilford, but I like the song actually. So
thank you, man.
Be awesome, man. Rich, thanks for coming
Appreciate
on.
it, man.
Always
Love you, man. Always, bro.
Shout out to my buddy Richard Wilford, who has a song "Be Awesome," which is available on all digital media outlets, and he's got 2 books that are out. You can find those on Amazon or wherever your books are sold.